Now I want to dig into the animations and how to do that. So in a previous video, I've showed you basic video generation with Vid Wiz. Now let's actually see if we want to change something. Every now and then it's going to generate an image you don't like or an animation that's not appropriate and you'll want to replace it. Here's how you do it. Alright, so I'm going to click on this image that is not yet animated. And if you want to change the image, you can change the prompt and regenerate it. Say it generates, and it'll do this every now and then, it'll generate something that looks, say, Disney Pixar in the middle of your creepy horror story. Has no place there, so you'll want to go in here, change the prompt, maybe even give it a little bit of a negative prompting nudge, and then you can regenerate the image. So right now I'm just going to regenerate a new image, and we'll see what that looks like. Oh, by the way, with Vid Wiz, so far what I found, I can regenerate as many images as I want. There is no limit to that. Animations, however, run on a top-up. So every time you generate an animation, it costs about 50 cents. Just to give you an idea of what it might cost if you're going to make like a 6 to 10 minute film and you're going to animate it all the way through, you might need to budget 30 to 50 bucks. Alright, so here we go. It generated a new image. I like that. It's a little padded, locked room. And what I'm going to do now, let's animate the image. We click on Animate. It gives you a clear disclaimer telling you what it's going to cost, and you can give it specific instructions. Like if there are elements in the image you want to happen, you tell it what you want to happen. Sometimes I just say animate the image and see what happens. So let's do animate the image. And we got to give it a few seconds. It takes it a few moments, and you can see down here in process. As soon as that process is over, we will open it up and see what it looks like. Let's see the results. That's more of like an exaggerated Ken Burns. I don't want to do that. So, let's say I would want to change that. I would have to regenerate and reapply. And before I do that, let's cut over to Mr. Backwards Feet, and I'm going to regenerate this animation. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, regenerate will not regenerate the video animation. Regenerate is only going to give me a new image based on this prompt, and then we'll have to do the animation again. So in this process, mistakes can become a little bit expensive, and you got to be careful and make sure. I kind of recommend if there's something specific you want to see, maybe prompting it exactly. Like in this case, I want to see the door open, and let's say maybe an eerie light shines through, instead of just zooming and panning towards it. So we'll do an animation on this one. And first, let me zoom into that. So yeah, it's same old thing, just kind of a door sitting there. And we're going to do animate the image. I'm going to say the door opens slightly and an eerie light shines through. Animate. Alright, and let's give it a few seconds. Now it's done. Interesting. So the eerie light kind of became an ambient light maybe. Oh well, that's pretty good. I'll keep it. And I'm going to go ahead and click apply, and that saves it. Now let's back up to Backwards Feet Guy, and I'm going to change that. So I have to replace the prompt again. I'm going to say man walking up cobblestone path in an old village in Europe. Dark and misty mood. Dark and misty mood is eerie. And we will regenerate an image, and then an animation. Vitamin Vegemin. So now it's done with the image, and it's changed the orientation slightly, but that's not so bothersome. And let's do an animation. I'm going to just say animate the scene, and my hopes are is just going to create a scene of a man walking, this time towards the camera. Looks like that's what we have. That'll do for me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. When you're done with your changes, you need to save the changes. So I'm going to save those, and that kicks off a rendering process. Depending on how long your video is, and this one I've made to be 6 minutes, it can take 30 minutes, to actually process and render out the whole video for you. So give it some time and you can go back into your series. And let me show you how these auto-publish. So right now I'm editing it, and I'm not going to let it auto-publish. I'm actually going to schedule the publish later. But any one of these series, you go to Edit Series, and this is where you can change the master prompt. And my formula, actually, for these widescreen, I'm letting the short versions generate, and then from those, I'm taking their script, and I'm saying generate a full 10-minute version of the following short video script. And I literally just copy-paste the script from the short, and I have it generate a long format from this. And then I say, don't use the words enigma, availing, uncovering, revealing, decoding. It can get repetitive, guys, if you know those AI kind of... I don't know if they're buzzwords or what, but AI loves them, and I specifically don't want to abuse them, so I've negative prompted it in its storytelling. Craft sentences that captivate viewer attention and flow naturally. Incorporate NLP techniques in storytelling and visualization. Incorporate elements such as foreshadowing, in media res, which is like a story flashback, and telling part of the story from a second person or third person perspective of one of those involved in the scene. Ensure each script is optimized to captivate the attention of a YouTube audience and keep them viewing. Avoid overusing wordy descriptors. You are writing to maintain a YouTube audience of young adult and adult viewers. You are not writing an academic essay. Those are all of my attempts to box in the stories and make them sound better when I thought they were kind of, stale or just, how do I put it? The best way to put it is sometimes you can hear something after you've been using AI for a while and you just hear the AI in it, and these kind of prompts have moved it past it to where I'm getting much better output. And then if you'll scroll down, toggle advanced settings, here's where you're going to schedule your videos to publish. So you can select any of the days of the week, alternate every single day, whatever you want, set your time, and you can post to YouTube and TikTok. Scroll down, you can upload your own images. So if you have images that you want to use in your own video, load them right there, and it will assemble those into your video. Choose your aspect ratio, choose the voice that you want to use, sound effects. So this is kind of a cool part, little segue. These two things right here came as a direct result of me asking the creator of the software for these features. And I'm telling you, these features were implemented within about 48 hours of me asking, and they're exactly what I wanted. Before the mute sound effects option was there, every part of the slideshow, when it would go to a new image, you would hear a swoosh noise. And it was really annoying. Okay, maybe in some contexts that's fine, but it really ruins the mood in a creepy story. Then we have show subtitles. My plan for the widescreen versions of these is to actually render them without subtitles. And that's because when I look at other people's widescreen format content, you don't see subtitles that you can tell were generated and put into the video. Maybe you get the YouTube subtitles. Most people only use them for shorts, so I'm going to go with that. Then you have to choose your thumbnail. You have to set your video duration. So right here I've maxed out at 10 minutes, but you can set your video duration anywhere between 0 and 10 minutes. And then my favorite new setting, budget per video. This is where if you leave it blank, it won't do animations. But if you put in a budget right here, this is going to animate automatically for you and choose random frames and automate. So once I get this going, if it works the way I want and I can, just kind of let it fly, I might set a budget per video at like $30 and let it just do the animations for me. Then you go to save and create video and it'll automatically process and create a new video. I don't want to do that because I'm going to go back and edit some of the ones I'm working on. But that's it. There's my 5 series that I'm producing right now. Each one could be connected to a different TikTok and YouTube. Pretty sweet solution, Vid Wiz. And there we have the pricing tiers. I'm actually on the hardcore plan. And as you can see, if you have a chance to go viral, hardcore plan is going to give you the most for your buck. Definitely. So that's it for today's update. It's looking like I'm having fun with this, but will it be monetized? I just don't know now that I'm having to reach into widescreen videos instead of only shorts. As far as going viral with shorts and having the least work, most minimal effort monetization style channel I can, I haven't given up on shorts. I've got a few more tricks up my sleeve, pieces of software that I'm looking into, and I've kind of been studying Shortsville to determine, okay, what exactly gives you, 5 million views? And it's not these animated kind of AI slideshows, and I'm not really finding videos like this that get more than tens of thousands of views, for instance. But the kind of content that gets millions of views is stuff like this. I'm going to investigate what shorts creators can crank out content like this, and I think I have some more experimentation to do. So that's it for my faceless automated video channel adventure update. I hope everyone's having a wonderful new year so far, and catch you next week. Onward and upward, everybody.